What is up, everybody, and welcome to the first ever Dudes Who Bet Sports.
So you want to bet sports, but you need some advice on how to cash in big at a heck of a price. Well, if you want enough money to line your shorts, then you're in the right place. This is Dudes Who Bet Sports. Dudes Who Bet Sports, it's your favorite show. Dudes Who Bet Sports, where degenerates go. Dudes Who Bet Sports, time to change your approach with Aaron Halterman and his father, the coach. Let's ride.
Well, the Associated Press is full of shit.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Dudes Who Bet Sports show. One last day in January and a couple more NFL games left to go. Boy, we have a lot to talk about with the NFL once again tonight. But Papa Dude, what's up? How we doing tonight?
Oh, I'm doing great. How about you? Man, these last 6 games, have they not been unbelievable?
Mm-hmm.
I heard some guys talking about it today, how really all of the games, with the exception of the Steelers game with the Chiefs way back long time, seems like a year ago, have really been close. So the playoffs have really been good. And really, when you think about it, all these teams were playoff quality except the Steelers.
Yeah.
So yeah, topped it off yesterday with a couple of dandies, that's for sure.
Yeah, my buddy Ryan texted me before the playoffs started. He goes, "This is going to be tough. I'm telling you, these teams are so similar. It's going to be tough this year." And he was right. It has been. We've done really well on most of them, but last weekend it was tough. But as Dennis asked, "How's Jared doing?" Yeah, not very good. He may be on later. We'll see. Keep an eye out for Jared. I think he could show up a little bit later on tonight. I know he wants to come on. He needs some therapy. He needs to talk it through. We're going to talk about it first, and then if he wants to jump on,
we got Isaac we can take care of too.
Isaac probably needs some therapy too. Big Chiefs fan. He was disappointed as well. Man, I'm telling you, it was an epic meltdown. One thing before, and then Sylvia joined us. Hello to you up in Canada. One thing I wanted to mention, we'll also talk about the Pegasus, by the way. We're going to do that. But one thing I wanted to mention right before we went on the air, I said, is Caleb Williams going to go to some semi-pro team? What is happening? What is going on with Caleb Williams right now? Still no school pick for him.
No, this thing that just came across my phone was one of those crappy things, that you get every once in a while that teases you that he's going somewhere when really he hasn't made a decision yet.
Right.
So this is the mystery of all time.
Yeah.
I do not know. I thought I read somewhere, maybe some of you guys know, I thought you had to be enrolled by the 28th of January.
That's what I had heard.
And I believe the day's the 31st. And you said, what's he going to do? Just go pro? I don't think that's legal. Maybe they'll make the Caleb Williams rule. I don't know. But this is bizarre. No one can figure this out. Yeah.
It's crazy. We'll see where he ends up. A lot of rumors out there going everywhere and still nothing. And it seems like a year since we did that podcast the night he entered the portal.
2 months.
I know. It feels like it's been forever.
Not since he entered the portal, but since this all started, it's been 2 months. I guess it's been about a month, like you said, since. So and everybody thought this would be done fairly quickly, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And this is bizarre.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I don't think he's going to USC, but I don't know. I don't know where he's going. So, it's crazy to see what's going on with Caleb right now. Who knows?
It makes you wonder if it is just money, which most of us think it is.
Yeah.
And he's not getting what he thought or what his father and his agent and all of his people thought he was going to get. Yeah. Maybe that's it. And the biggest rumor right now is Wisconsin. I cannot see them doing that, but maybe they would, but I can't see that. I can't see them doing that.
It doesn't make any sense.
No.
I don't know. I don't know what's happening there. at all. Yeah, and then you get the Tom Brady situation. Is he retired? Is he not? We
Now,
don't have an
didn't
answer
you
to that.
think you would hear something on that today?
See, this is crazy because right before Magic and I went on the air for the Pegasus Live show, which, by the way, great show. Magic did a great job on that. But right before we went on, it came across our phones,
Right.
and by the time we got off of there, everybody was like, "I don't know," and it's like ESPN doesn't miss these hardly ever.
Not
So
that guy for sure.
it's it's
No.
a great question. I don't know. I mean, it's that's died down. We've heard nothing today about that.
Adam Schefter does not miss.
Supposedly, Brady said he's not even close to making a decision on this. So
Yeah, so it makes you wonder if somebody just pulled a joke on Schefter, and it's kind of funny if they did.
I I can't see him not going public with this without many sources. You know.
I can't, because this is big news.
Mhm.
This is huge news, but it hit me. I didn't, when I saw that, I didn't think he would retire after the season he's had.
Yeah.
Unless it's starting to get to him, and it's harder and harder to keep playing at that level, and he doesn't want to just hang out or
Mhm.
hang on. So that is bizarre too. So we got two bizarre things going here.
Yeah. This is Dennis. I appreciate this comment, but he said, I mean, he has to be retired. It's like the big name put his reputation on the line with Schefter. I mean, imagine if Aaron not trying to fill his ego, but Aaron's big enough to say Horse X is retired, and that not be true. You're right. I wouldn't do it without from the horse's mouth, so to speak. Is the best way to put it.
Wouldn't you think his father would know?
It's funny when Will Take Charge retired, we put it out there, and Dennis, when he retired, we were a 20th of the size we are now, and not a lot of people knew us, and we got raked over the coals
Really?
for 2 days on Twitter, calling us frauds and all this. And there was a DRF guy, and Lucas said, "Oh no, he's not retiring," but we knew D. Wayne Lucas's grandson, and he told us, "Guys, he's done." I don't know why my grandpa said that to that DRF guy, but he's done. He's not even at the barn anymore. And anyway, it turned out to be true, but we took a ton of flack for that time.
I would think his father, and I believe his agent has denied it, right?
Yep.
And the head coach says he's heard nothing. I think Brady would tell the head coach, don't you?
But I guess I don't know. Like I think there's all kinds of different conflicting reports. So I don't know. But yeah, it's a weird situation for sure. All right, I've stalled. I don't think Jared's showing up. So if he does, we'll put him on. But kind of stalling for a minute, thinking maybe he would pop up here. But we'll go ahead and talk about the Chiefs. And then if he comes on later, we can rehash it.
We can go back, yeah.
It's really unbelievable. We'll start with this. The Chiefs are ahead 21-3. The Bengals going to touch that a minute to go. It's 21-10. Chiefs, in typical Chiefs fashion, go right down the field. But instead of kind of playing safe, kicking a field goal, they try to get a touchdown, kind of a discombobulated play a little bit. Time runs out. It's 21-10 at the half. That was the first issue, right? So momentum starts to slip a bit. They're still in pretty good shape.
Sure.
They can't move the ball the whole second half. How just shocked were you watching this?
Well, you know the answer to that. I texted you when it was 21-3, and I said, this isn't even worth bothering with.
I about was ready to turn it off. And a matter of fact, I kind of didn't pay attention to it.
It was on, but I wasn't paying any attention.
Right. Yep.
And it was just a blowout. I mean, they were doing whatever they wanted. And you've said it so many times about sports. Momentum is such a big deal. And when are these coaches going to start kicking field goals? This has been the thing all year long. And it looked to me like, and I don't know, I don't think Mahomes knew how many timeouts he had left. Because I don't think he would have thrown that ball there.
Evidently, it was something about Jared was trying to tell me, and I don't know if he knows, I don't know how he knows this, but that was the play. And if it wasn't there, he was just supposed to throw it away, throw it out the back of the end zone.
He still
And
only had 5 seconds, though.
well, it was a quick. Is it there? He's open. No. Throw it out of the back. Kick the field goal. I mean, they had time to do that. So
They do, but
it's dumb. That's the whole thing. It's just dumb.
it's just like, I mean, okay, here's the thing. There's a hell of a difference between a 11-point lead and a 14-point lead
Mm-hmm.
when you're the best team and you're at home and you quelled, or I think that's the word, you ended the momentum that Cincinnati had built by scoring.
Yeah.
To make it 21-10.
Yeah.
You go right back down. Now you may not get the 7 that you want, but guess what? You don't always get what you want.
Right.
Get your 3 points and be up by 14.
Yeah. Big difference.
It's a huge difference.
Yep.
So Cincinnati, now, hey, that was a hell of a stop for them.
Mm-hmm.
They're on the 1-yard line. They get that ball in the end zone. This game is over. It's over.
Mm-hmm.
So they go into halftime saying, man, we just dodged the bullet.
Yep.
Now, I still thought they were in trouble because the Chiefs got the ball first.
Well, that.
And,
Yep.
yeah, and Cincinnati hadn't stopped them all day.
Mm-mm.
But suddenly the Chiefs looked like the Browns.
Well, so I was with you. I still thought, well, not that big of a deal, because they just haven't been able to stop them. They come out, they get stopped, they punt it. Cincinnati doesn't do anything. I'm like, God, Cincinnati, there was your little window.
Yeah.
And you couldn't take advantage. They stop them again.
I'll tell you another thing, Aaron, about the score. Okay. All right. So it was 21-10, and it should have been 24, right?
Yep.
So if the score is 24-10, does Cincinnati kick that field goal to make it 13? I don't think they do.
No, I don't think so either.
I don't think they think 3 points makes a diddly.
Yep.
Against the Chiefs.
Yeah, it changes everything but again, the game you didn't assume would really matter. That kind of stuff wouldn't matter. And then again, they're in a situation where it's okay. They still didn't make a great drive, but they got in field goal range, 21-13. The Chiefs are still in control. And then
they are. But the Bengals are within a score now.
And then just like that, the big mistake. And this was the thing. If the end of the half started it, this is when Mahomes throws the interception, they're down about the 25-yard line after the pick. I looked at her and said, they're in big trouble. And she's like, they're ahead. It's like, no, this is too much. It's piling on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They score. It was still tough for them to score.
Oh, it was.
And it gets 21-21, and it's like they get a chance and they kick a field goal. Like, the Bengals weren't doing anything outrageous in this game. No. They were trying to keep the Chiefs in it. The Chiefs wouldn't do anything about it. That's what was crazy.
No, and it's like you've said again, when you lose that momentum, man, it is hard to get it back. And you can't tell me that when it was 21-3, the Chiefs didn't relax.
Yeah.
Because psychologically, you can't help it. You beat Buffalo. You've heard all week that was the team you had to beat.
Mm-hmm.
And if you came out and took care of business, Cincinnati couldn't handle you. And you get up 21-3, as easy a 21-3 as you could ever find.
Yeah.
And then you relax. And the world starts caving in on you. And man, you just can't turn it on. It's not like a water faucet.
Then it was a choke job. Once they got again, I think they were still in real good shape. Mm-hmm. When he threw the first pick, it's like everything tightened up. Man, yeah. They couldn't do it. They couldn't block him. Mahomes couldn't find anybody open. Mahomes was throwing just wickedly terrible passes after playing 6 perfect quarters of football.
Yeah.
The last 2 quarters of this game, wow, it was bad.
He was bad. And I am very hesitant to bash him. I really am. After all he's done.
Sure.
And you do have a right to have a bad game every once in a while, or bad or whatever. And maybe somebody on that damn team ought to pick him up every once in a while and I'm not a Mahomes lover by any stretch, and we're not Chiefs fans. So I
Yeah.
think we can be a little bit realistic on this.
Well, I'm going to stop you right there. I felt like the defense,
It
they
was okay.
tried to pick them up the whole second half. It's not like, again, the Bengals were not going up and down the field.
No, you got to give the Bengals defense a hell of a lot of credit. You really do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Man, covered those guys. You know, he had all kinds of time back there several times, couldn't find anybody. I don't know whether he was hesitant. I just don't know. It was not him, that's for sure. And we've said all year the Chiefs, in order to be good, need him to play like Superman.
Yeah.
You know, and he played like Clark Kent in the second half. And it's just it's hard to believe what happened.
It really is. And
it is.
You go through all of this. They're behind now 24-21, and they orchestrate a very nice drive. They
do
get it down to 1st and goal.
Mm-hmm.
I still thought, well, they fell asleep. They're still going to get away with this.
Right.
They're going to win. You know, another heartbreaking loss for their opponent. They went backwards.
Well, did you feel the same way I did? Or I did, that these teams are starting to be too concerned with running the clock down to 0.
Yes.
And scoring.
Yep.
Instead of getting the damn points when you can, because here's the deal. If you score a touchdown, the Bengals are completely out of timeouts.
Yep.
They're down 4. They don't need a field goal. They got to get a touchdown. No timeouts.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you take your chances on stopping them?
See, that was the thing. There was a lot of craziness that was happening, and Romo's yelling, they got to run the timeout, and they're yelling on Twitter, you got to let them score if you're Cincinnati. If you No, if you've watched the game, this wasn't the Buffalo game where the Chiefs couldn't stop them. That's the difference. If it was a Buffalo game and the Bills were just going up and down the field on them, I see the Chiefs trying to do what they did. They've been stopping them. And if you give the Bengals a minute and 30 seconds and they have to score a touchdown,
it's so hard.
They're not going to do it, most likely.
Probably not. And you just take your chances there.
Yeah.
And then these other clowns saying Cincinnati should let them score. Why?
No,
you were ahead, and a field goal sent you into overtime.
Yeah, no. That's the worst thing you could have. If the game is tied, then that's one thing. But if you're ahead by more than 3 or more, I should say, no. You do not let them score, especially since you've stopped them the whole second half.
Right. And anything can go wrong on a field goal attempt.
Exactly. And that first play, when they ran the ball, I was like, okay, they're going to try to play where they're going to get it to 3rd down and they're going to have to make a play. And they're either going to make it or not. And boy, 3rd down, the Chiefs almost give it away. Mahomes fumbles the ball. I'm like, oh my God, they're not even going to kick the field goal. And of course, they do kick it. They make it. We get to overtime. Of course, they win the toss again.
Exactly.
Tails never fails. Come on. What the hell you think? You never call heads, first of all. I know it didn't work last week. Doesn't matter. Never call heads. They get it. First play, incomplete. Second play, pick 6. It was right there.
Oh, hey, when he dropped that, I thought the game was over.
I looked at Heather again. I said, well, it's over. That was their chance. He's not going to give him another chance. Oh, he throws a pick on the 3rd play. I mean, it's just like, I don't know what I'm watching. This is unbelievable. And then the Bengals, and I told you, I said, Mixon, he's going to break runs here. Yeah. They got it. And he did. Mixon, fantastic. He played a great game, and he ran all over him and got him in field goal range, and that was it.
And you know another thing, too, that dadgum Chiefs cannot run the ball.
No.
They can't run it. Now, I really think on that 3rd down play in overtime, he panicked on that play. He just threw that up there and hoped he'd catch it.
But it's so, unlike Mahomes to panic. Yeah, that's what's weird. It's like I've never seen him do that before.
No, not in those situations. But, if I'm just making Chiefs fans pissed off, but he shouldn't even been playing this game. He should have lost last week.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. If Buffalo wasn't so stupid You would have lost last week, and you wouldn't be worrying about this today.
Yeah. The big thing, I think, for the Chiefs, it felt like this was their Super Bowl to lose, and they
Yeah.
lost it. And I'm telling you, I know they're great. I know Mahomes is great, but it's hard to get in these spots. And when you get into
That's a question I have, Aaron, that I thought we ought to talk about.
okay, well, when you get in these situations,
Well, I know, and
you got to
that's
take advantage.
that's what I'm kind of getting at here.
Okay.
Two-part question. Okay, number one, are the Chiefs overrated? Are they overrated as a whole?
I mean, the proof is where it is. Yeah, I think they are. You're talking about a team that has hosted the AFC title 4 straight years, and they're 2-2 in those games.
Right.
You're talking about a team that lost to a lesser opponent on Sunday, and you're talking about a team. Listen, they got dominated in the Super Bowl against Tampa, and they shouldn't have.
And shouldn't have won the first one.
They shouldn't have won the first one either. So yeah, at this point, they're definitely an overrated team.
Do we look at them and rate them as high as we do because of their offensive ability?
Yeah,
and
no doubt.
The fact that they put up points like crazy, because we all love offensive teams.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now, if I'm a Chiefs fan, which I'm not, okay, and I'm looking here today and I'm sick as a dog, which I would be.
Mm-hmm.
I compare the Chiefs an awful lot to my team and your team, Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All fluff and no tough.
Yep.
And now, I'm proud of my team for all of the games that they've won in the last 4, 5, 6 years. And you have to be. They've won a lot of huge games to win Big 12 championships. And not very many teams do that.
Yeah.
And if I was a Chiefs fan, I would be extremely proud of the games that they have won.
Mm-hmm.
But as an OU fan, and just like you, and we're kind of comparing them, there's something missing.
Mm-hmm.
There's something that's just missing.
Well, Ryan, my buddy Ryan said they remind him of a bully a little bit. And as long as the bully has his way and has his bluff in, he dominates you and he makes you look silly. But he said once you step up to him, they kind of just back off a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Now here's the next part. Okay. Are they missing their prime time opportunity to become a dynasty?
Yeah.
This is 4 years. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So Mahomes has been in the league 5 years. He didn't play the first year, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what's he? He's probably 28, 29 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how old Kelsey is. I don't know how Hill is. They just got through another season without Mahomes getting hurt.
Yeah.
Now you look back at the great quarterbacks over the years, sooner or later, you're going to miss a season with an injury.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. I don't ever remember Kelsey getting hurt.
Mm-hmm.
What if he blows out a knee?
Mm-hmm.
Hill was banged up a little bit this year, and he could always get hurt. They've had 4 opportunities, and they've only cashed in on 1. And that's good. I mean, what they've done is incredible.
Yeah.
But have they missed out on becoming the New England Patriots?
100% they have. The first year is a pass because their defense wasn't good enough. Like they just weren't quite there yet. Then they won the next year, make it back to the Super Bowl. They're still in real good shape, but this was the big year, right? And to blow it in a year where there was no excuse, like last year, you got beat to Tom Brady. Okay. There's no excuse this year. None. And to lose this game is bad. And It's a blown opportunity. And like you said, Mahomes was hurt a little bit the year before, but didn't miss a whole season, 4 or 5 games. What if Hill gets hurt? These things happen. They've been fairly healthy through these last 4 years and have won Super Bowl.
Right. And you only have a certain period of time to be great.
Yep.
Aikman had 2 years at 3 years at Dallas,
and
then they disappeared. Players get older.
Yeah.
Players move on. Things happen.
Well, players get figured out in this league too, and I
They
think
do.
that's a lot of it. This year, they learned that hey, if you take away the deep ball, make them be patient, it doesn't really work out for them.
Yeah.
And that's what happened in the second half. They took away Hill. When you take him away,
Oh, yeah.
the offense became ordinary this year. This is not a new problem. The Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes have struggled all year at times, and this was like a microcosm of their whole season. They look really good at times, and when they go bad, it's really bad. There's no middle ground.
Right. So in the off season, I think their number one priority, they got to get a running back. They got to get a dynamic running back if they can find one. But when you draft where they draft, that's hard to do.
I think their biggest thing is they need to get that number 2 wide receiver back. They need to get a Sammy Watkins type.
Yeah. And they might be able to come up with some.
Yeah. Running back obviously would help too. But anyway, we've sit here and talked. What about the Bengals? I mean,
let's not downgrade the Bengals.
Yeah, they played an incredible game to keep going. And Dennis, where was that comment? Joe Burrow can be the first ever to win the Heisman, the national championship, and the Super Bowl. That's what a stud he is. By the way, this is year 2, and this is the biggest thing about the Chiefs. Okay, a couple of years ago, it's like, wow, Mahomes is way better than anything in the division.
Yep.
He's still very good. We're not saying he's not.
Oh yeah.
Joe Burrow's really good. Josh Allen's really good. Justin Herbert's really good.
Yep. And Justin Herbert's in his division.
Well, yeah, and maybe Denver can lure Rodgers or Russell Wilson.
Hey, you get a quarterback in Denver, they're pretty dadgum good, and the Raiders aren't chicken feed either.
No, I'm telling you now that may deter somebody from coming to Denver because that division's stacked. Yes, but they've got teams, and not just teams. There's quarterbacks that now look to be on par with Patrick Mahomes for the first time.
Yeah.
So it doesn't look as easy as it did 2 or 3 years ago. No, they're just going to run through it.
And that's that window that's escaped them. They could have won 2 for sure.
Yep. And Mark makes a good point. You have Lamar and you got Baker.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow is ascended past those
he's so much more talented athletically. He has so much more talent than they do.
Well, then he has more passing talent than Lamar Jackson. Most people do. He's not as athletic, and he's just flat out better than Baker Mayfield. It's not even close. But here's how crazy the NFL is. The Browns beat the Bengals twice.
Yeah, they did.
And the game where all the Bengals players played, and it was a really big game, and it was at Cincinnati, the Browns beat them by like 30 points.
Yeah, they just slaughtered them.
So that's the crazy NFL. But yeah, the Bengals, and once upon a time in our NFL preview, we said, hey, they're better. We didn't think they're going to make the Super Bowl, but we thought they'd be better.
They won 4 games last year.
Yeah.
I think I heard their head coach's record the first 2 years was 6-25-1, I believe they said today. Yeah. Something along those lines. And by the way, he was calm and cool over there and
shocked. Yep.
Yeah, I don't want to discredit the Bengals because they beat the Chiefs. They didn't get it handed to them.
Yeah.
They beat them. And you got to give them credit because you go in there, you're a big underdog. First time you've been in a game like that, and you get down 21-3, and you come back and beat that team.
Yeah.
In Arrowhead.
Yeah.
Give them some credit. I mean, they deserve a lot of credit, and I ain't too sure I'm not going to pick them in the Super Bowl. I'm not too sure. They're good enough.
Yeah, right now they're a 4-point underdog, and so that makes them very, tempting for sure. And Magic reminds us he cashed in on over 6.5 wins for Cincinnati. That's all they had to do. They had to get over 6.5 to begin the year.
And I tell you what, Magic, Aaron went over that, I believe, but I didn't.
You went under?
I think so, because I didn't think in that division, I thought the division was too tough.
Yeah.
And it ended up the division tanked. But, just an incredible season for them. And Isaac has commented here. He's just heard on a podcast that Tom Brady had that he has said he didn't know whether he would retire or keep playing. So
you're only supposed to listen to one podcast, Isaac, and that's ours. So you're cursed. All right, let's move on to the other game here. And that was the Rams and the 49ers. Papa Dude, you said this will be a slugfest. You couldn't wait. You were right. It was. Yeah. That's all it was. It was two teams that knew each other very, very, very well. Niners get out ahead. Great comeback by the Rams. They finally got it going late. They win 20-17. I was happy to see this. I think Matt Stafford's a pretty good dude.
I do too.
He seems genuinely really, really like just ecstatic. I was happy to see the Rams win.
Oh, me too. I was too. I was secretly kind of pulling for the Niners just because I admire them tremendously. So I really didn't care too much, but I'm really glad that Stafford, he's got the off his shoulders now, you know?
Yeah. No, I was kidding, Isaac. You're all forgiven. All forgiven.
We were teasing you, Isaac.
Yeah.
But is Cooper Kupp unbelievable or what?
Yeah, he was great again. He's wide open. And, I think it was Dennis said, and it made a lot of sense on the Thursday show. He's like, I'm going to go under the yardage for Kupp because surely they'll make somebody else beat him. They just can't. He's open every time. It's unbelievable.
He's incredible.
Yeah.
He is a great football player. And it was really an old-fashioned game.
Yeah.
I do want to kind of rub it into Magic just a little bit. Why in the world does anyone think Los Angeles deserves a pro football team after the amount of fans that showed up from San Francisco?
Yeah.
When they did something good, I thought it was a home game.
It reminded me of? It reminded me of watching like a bowl game or watching the OU Texas game. It was a 50-50 crowd. There was always noise because somebody was cheering all the time.
How can that be? You're in the NFC Championship game and the other team's got as many fans as you do.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It's crazy. I know.
That means you either don't have any season ticket holders.
Yeah.
Or the season ticket holders sold their tickets to the 49ers and made money. And then the Chargers, they have nobody at their games.
No.
Rooting for them. It's crazy.
Yeah. Magic says LA people truthfully care about three teams: Lakers, Dodgers, and USC football. No, they don't, Magic. Come on. I don't care about USC.
I agree with the Lakers and the Dodgers.
Yeah. What about? I think they support the hockey team decently. The Kings, don't they?
They probably have their core fans, like every hockey team does.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Magic says there are more Raider fans in LA than Rams and Chargers combined. I could see that.
Yeah, I could too. Yeah, I remember when the Raiders played there, they never had that kind of a one-sided advantage for the visiting team.
Mm-hmm.
So they sold the tickets to those games.
Yeah, it was. It was fun to kind of watch that, though. It was a pretty cool atmosphere. I'm sure if you're a Rams fan, you're like, geez, we're outnumbered, but
Now, is the Super Bowl's played in that stadium, right?
Yep.
Be interesting to see. Of course, that Super Bowl, those tickets go everywhere. I mean, that's not exactly a home field deal. A lot of those, like I say, those tickets go everywhere. I don't know how they're distributed. I really don't.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. And yeah, like I said, the Rams open as a 3.5-point favorite. They're now up to a 4-point favorite. So I think it'll be a good Super Bowl. Rams and the Bengals, and you've got Burrow versus Stafford. I think that's good enough.
A lot of storylines.
I think it will be a competitive game. I think it'll be right around that number. I don't think it will be a blowout.
I think it'll be a really competitive game. I don't think it's the showcase that the NFL wanted.
No, I don't think so either. I think the
Chiefs
and Rams
Mahomes against Brady again, or Mahomes against Rodgers. That would have been a little, or even Dallas.
Yeah, I think Mahomes versus Stafford and the Rams would have been okay.
Yeah, that would have been okay. Sure.
Yeah, but we'll take it. People are gonna watch it. It's the Super Bowl. Mark says cheapest ticket online is $6,000.
Really?
Wow. Huh. Wow. Isaac excited for the halftime show. Now that the Chiefs aren't in it, he is excited for Snoop Dogg and Kendrick Lamar. Do you know who those people are?
I know who Snoop Dogg is. I will not be watching the halftime show. I rarely do watch the halftime show, but no, I'm not looking too forward to that. I don't think I would give $60 to go, to be honest.
You wouldn't give $60 to go to the Super Bowl?
I don't think so.
Well, it's in LA. You hate LA, so
no, it could be in Joplin. I don't think I'd go.
You would go for $60 if it was
No,
in
I
Joplin.
would not. No,
Yeah,
I would not. I don't. I wouldn't.
Sylvan says, hope the Bengals beat the Rams coach. Yeah, I saw that other comment. You're not a fan.
Huh? No. And, I think I know a little bit where she might be coming from. He is kind of cocky acting sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can kind of see where she might say that. You can eat chips.
Isaac, yeah, I've got the hats here, Isaac. I've got how many?
Hey, Isaac, I'm going over to see Aaron tomorrow.
Yep, I'll give him the hats,
and I'll get a hat, and I'll get that to you. In fact, you even drop it by and put it in your mailbox.
Yep, there you go. What if there was all the chips you could eat with that $60?
No,
no,
chips are only good at home.
Will Snoop be doing a quick dish with Martha?
Okay, explain that one to me. I don't know what that means.
They're in like a commercial where they do that. Martha Stewart.
I like her.
Yeah. Yeah, it's we should mention this. He brings up the NHC here. Mike Samich, 7th overall in the NHC, a fantastic weekend.
Wow.
He had 0 on Friday and ends up winning day 2, which gets him a seat into the Breeders' Cup Betting Challenge, and then got him into the final 64, and then he makes it to the final 10 because he gets a huge price at Oaklawn early in the day. So
really
great job there. And by the way, another friend of the Racy Dudes, Dale Day, makes the top 10. Unbelievable. Yeah, it's unbelievable. And Dale Day is a huge Cincinnati Bengals fan. So what a day he had on Sunday.
I don't know, this is nothing, but I went to the grocery store Sunday, and here in this town, and everybody in there had Chiefs stuff on, because we're in Missouri, and that's kind of the way it is. And this one guy comes walking in, and he had a Bengals. I've never seen a Bengals hoodie in Aurora, Missouri. No. And he come strutting in there like he was, and I'd like to see him afterwards when they won. But he had a Bengals jersey or hoodie on.
That's incredible. No, I never would have guessed that. No.
Hey, I tell you what, Mark says me and Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart have their own cooking show. I can cook. That would be kind of fun.
That would be funny. I would watch it.
Snoop, we could have some fun.
I think so too. I think Snoop you could have fun with Snoop anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Dennis said, I had to close my eyes for like 2 minutes. Next thing you know, we're talking about Snoop, Martha Washington, and Papa Dude. So
Dennis isn't feeling too good.
Yeah, Dennis, you hurt your back, he said today. I hope you're all right. That's
too much pressure up there watching TV by yourself.
Homemade pot brownies, yeah. Okay, before we get off the rails, let's talk about the racing this weekend. I only do it because we talked about it on the Thursday show. Papa Dude, obviously, he's always in our guides doing the picks. He did good again. What'd you get? 4 out of 7, correct, on top, Papa Dude.
Yeah, anytime you guys want any pointers, I'll give them to you.
Well, you didn't get the big one right.
No,
though.
I didn't.
So let's talk about the Pegasus World Cup. Magic and I actually talked about this on the Magic Mike show as Samich was flying home today. And it felt a lot like a matchup that we would hype up in sports for a couple of weeks. A championship game, a Super Bowl. You get there, you think it's going to be even, you think it's going to be great, and it ends up being a blowout. Yeah, that's what it was. Life is Good just takes it to them. What do you think of the race?
From the get-go, just stomped him. And, Nick's got pinned.
Yeah.
Got knocked in. I don't think it would have made any difference. You know more about his style than me, but he's got to get out in front, right?
Yep.
And he got pinned right off the bat, and Life is Good was perfect. Just flew out there, and there was no catching him. Very impressive. Very, very impressive, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
What a horse. And
Yeah.
we knew he was good when he was 3.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
we knew
Yeah.
he was the best of the bunch then, and he got hurt, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
and now Pletcher's got him in form, and he looks pretty tough to beat, I'll tell you.
Yeah. Dennis said he made the biggest bet he had ever made on a horse on Life is Good. So congratulations to
Then
that.
life is good.
Yeah, that
That's
was
why he hurt his back, carrying all that money.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, Dennis. Now we know Papa Dude got to the bottom of this mystery.
That's right.
I think you said he slipped on some ice or something, but I think it was the
Ooh,
money.
that here in a couple of days.
You know, it was a situation. I was so tense, and I said on Thursday's show, toughest decision I ever had to make.
Yeah. Well, that's your horse that you bet against.
Yeah, but that's what growing up as a
Well,
handicapper.
I know that, but you still love that horse.
Yeah, but you have to. 5 years ago, probably wouldn't have made the right call.
I agree.
That's why we kind of are where we are at this point. We all have kind of learned that you just can't get connected to him. But that being said, the reason I picked the horse is his path to win just seemed easier to me. It's like he could sit just off and win. He could stalk and then put the pressure on late and win, or he could go to the front and win. And so I wasn't surprised that he was in front. I was shocked. He was 10 lengths in front up the backside. And I kept saying, why didn't Nix just go out there? Like, why not try to make a move? And I thought Magic made a good point. Nix his game is to just kind of naturally get the lead and run you into oblivion.
Yeah.
And when he didn't naturally get it,
he didn't know what to do.
Well, and it's like he doesn't really have that quick burst of ability to go after somebody. So I think that's just what happened, man. And like I said, that's just a horse just taking it to you and saying later.
And Nix might be done.
Yeah.
He is 6.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it depends on what they want to do with him.
No, he's done. He was.
They went. Oh, they did. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, what a horse! What a horse he was.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, he was really something, and
he really was.
And great year. And listen, we all were like, well, he won't hit the board now that he's so uncomfortable. Nah, he got second. I mean,
I thought he did a heck of a job to get second, didn't you?
Yeah.
Showed his guts. He could have easily quit.
Yeah, he showed a lot of heart in that race, and
really
I think he just got beat by a superior horse. And when that horse won the San Felipe, we were live that day, and oddly, and I think it's just Baffert hate. Everybody was like, "Oh, you're overhyping Life is Good." I said, "He's going to win that Derby by as much as he wants," and he would have. But anyway, it's good that he's back, and hopefully,
he's got a trainer that it's about as good as they get.
Yeah, I mean, he had a huge day. Todd Pletcher.
Well, that's his track.
Yeah,
he's as good as it gets. And speaking of Todd, I got to mention one thing before we get off horse racing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, first of all, when I started getting into horse racing, I started grabbing books and reading them and stuff. And one of the first tips I ever got in a book, betting horses, and you mentioned it, was don't ever fall in love with a horse.
Yeah.
Don't ever bet because you love the horse. And it's the hardest thing not to do because you want that horse to win so bad. But speaking of Pletcher, reminded me of the thing I was the most excited about Saturday was the Martha Washington in Oaklawn, where D. Wayne Lucas and Todd Pletcher learned everything he knows, and then added some to it from D. Wayne Lucas, has a filly that looks like the real deal. Would you not agree?
Absolutely. So, yeah, he's talking about Secret Oath. I was actually going to bring this horse up, so I'm glad you did. Yeah, D. Wayne Lucas wins the Martha Washington by as much as he wanted with Secret Oath. This horse is serious. We talked about this on Magic Mike too. This could be any kind. We could see this horse on the Derby Trail.
Yes.
He might take a swing with her, but she's really good. An 88 buyer under wraps for the Martha Washington. She ran a 93 2 back and an allowance. And it's fantastic.
I'm sure you know this, but that jockey was choking that horse all the way down the back stretch, trying to slow it down. And finally, he decided, I think he just said, I can't do this anymore. And he let that horse go. And how many times have you seen one just smoke him?
Mhm.
I mean, once he got the lead, that baby was over with. And I don't know how good the field is. I don't know. I'm assuming that Asmussen horse is pretty good.
Well, the Asmussen horse is a multiple stakes winner. Optionality. Go ahead.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I'm assuming that horse is pretty good. And the Asmussen horse. And there
Mhm.
was another one in there. I can't remember. It's decent. Wasn't there another one that
Yeah, the
was,
Brad Cox runner was
yeah,
decent. Yeah.
yeah. So I'm assuming the field was okay. But boy, I would say, well, you never know about the coach, what he's going to do.
Mhm.
This may be his last great horse. I think we said that a million times. And he keeps coming up with the one.
Oh, we've said it with Oxbow. We said it with Will Take Charge. We said it with Take Charge Brand. He just keeps getting them.
He does, and he could put him in the Rebel. He could, or put her
Yeah.
in the Rebel. He could.
I bet you don't know who that horse's mom is, do you?
No.
Absinthe Minded.
Oh yeah, you told me.
Yep.
Another tough horse.
Yeah, that's a horse that really drove my love for racing. Absent Minded down at
Yeah.
Oaklawn, and yeah, now she's got this incredible filly.
Right, and Lucas is one of the reasons I fell in love with horse racing. And again, I'm probably boring people, but I was down at the track one day when I just had started going, and
Mhm.
he was the only guy I'd ever heard of. I just went because everybody said it's fun to
Mhm.
go, and then I fell in love with it. I mean, it just hit me like a ton of bricks. It was just something about it, so challenging and everything.
Yeah.
It still is. And I was standing around the paddock. I'd probably been going for a couple of years. I mean, I knew who he was and everything. And he was just standing there. He was just watching the horses. It was on a Sunday afternoon. He didn't have anything. I think he had one horse running that day. And I thought, hell, I'm going to go over and just sit there. I'm just going to shake his hand, because
Yeah.
not every day you shake your hand with a millionaire. So
Right.
shake your hand with somebody pretty damn famous. I didn't know how famous he was at the time.
Yeah.
And that was the nicest guy. And he sat there and he talked to me and he answered every stupid ass question I had. And looking back on it, I asked him some dumb stuff.
Right.
And then I've watched interview after interview with him over the years. I always learned something.
Mhm.
I always learned something when I
Yep.
listened to him. He's a very, very intelligent person. And to stick to it, he has to love it.
Mhm.
I've been doing it. So I am pulling for this horse. I would love to see him win the Oaks or wherever he chooses to go with it, and then win another Breeders' Cup. That would be fantastic.
Yeah, he definitely is really good for the game. He takes two little kids in every winner's circle
Yes.
picture. He makes sure to find them and take them down there. Gotten to know his assistant Bass over the years. Really good guy as well. Nice guy. A lot of really nice D. Wayne stories. I've been in a few of his winner's circle. His grandson Brady, hell of a guy.
You know him pretty well.
Got to know him. He got us in the winner's circle when Take Charge Brandy won at the Breeders' Cup. He let us go in when We'll Take Charge won at Oaklawn. So he's been really nice to us. We got to go see like a barn tour when we were real new to the game. D. Wayne brought us back, and Bass brought us to all the horses that he had, and Take Charge Brandy, We'll Take Charge, Optimizer, Mr. Z. That gray filly that was really fast. Can't think of her name. Anyway, got to see a lot of them. So really cool.
Yeah,
and
he's a
nice guy. Yeah.
He is a jewel, and he is horse racing. What I love about horse racing are guys like him.
Yeah.
And most of those guys are very, very fan friendly. Most of them are.
Yeah.
You kind of got to watch it sometimes and don't bug them.
Yeah.
But if you go up to them and they're not, interested in something or working or whatever, they'll sit and talk to you and take pictures with you and whatever you want to do.
Most horsemen are pretty friendly.
They are.
Some are not. We know most of them.
It don't take long to know.
80% of them are very common.
They really are.
Yeah. Even the star, like I got Steve Asmussen. You could.
Oh, great guy.
He's a good guy.
Brad Cox.
Brad Cox is friendly. Yeah. Brad Cox, I think he'd rather not talk to you. I think he's kind of shy more than anything. He's not a jerk. That's for sure. Really nice guy.
We didn't know Steve. I hope Steve's watching tonight.
Yeah.
From Northwest Arkansas. We were down there last year, and Brad he was standing there, and Steve goes, "Let's go get our picture taken with him." I said,
"Of course, yeah."
And we went up there like a couple of little kids, and of course, he looked at us like we were nuts. But anyway, he couldn't have been nicer. So
yeah, good guy, and like I say, most of them are. There's some that I will choose not to mention.
Yeah,
aren't. But yeah, most of them really, really nice. Those guys are for sure. All right, that's racing. Yeah,
the COVID speech that Lucas did. Yeah, he almost died.
Yeah,
of it, and he'll tell you that. And he thought he was dead.
Yeah,
and I heard his wife say the same thing. He had a rough go of it last year, I believe it was, and maybe 2 years ago. So yeah, he said, "Don't mess with this stuff."
Yeah.
So anyway,
he was in bad shape, but he came out of it. I'm telling you, that guy.
No, he's a tough son of a gun.
He's a tough son of a gun, like I said. And it's funny. John White. This will be the last racing story. We'll get out of here. John White, who is my hero in racing. I strive to be like John White, and if we all could be like John White as human beings, this would be a lot better world. He is the greatest guy I've ever met, and you talk about nice people in horse racing. That's the nicest one ever. Anyway, I could tell you so many stories on John White, but it's just an incredible human being. But where I'm getting at, and again, my buddy Ryan, I love him to death. He's counted Dwayne Lucas out so many times.
He's what?
He's counted Dwayne Lucas out so many times. My buddy Ryan, who's another guy who is the best guy in the world, but he's counted him out. And so when Ryan met John, it was when Lucas was going through his first slump, and Ryan said, "Oh, Lucas is done," and he said, "I'm going to remember that because that guy's going to win a lot of big races before he's done." And that was before Oxbow and before Will Take Charge and Bravazzo. All these guys, all these horses that came back and won. And he gives Ryan shit about that all the time. John does. And so anyway, I think about when Lucas wins, I still think of when John, always gives Ryan shit about that. So what John said to us, the recent slump Lucas had been in, last time I saw John, he said, "Don't count him out. He will have another one." So I don't know, John. He's lost a lot of owners. He said, "Don't count him out." Yeah. When Gary Stevens, he had never won a Grade 1 stakes, and Gary Stevens started to get mounts for Dwayne Lucas way back in the day, and John knew Gary, and Gary told him, he said, "Well, that's the best thing you could have done. So that guy will get you Grade 1 wins. You're going to win a Derby under this guy," and he did. So, John and Dwayne go way back.
Yeah, he's something else.
Yeah. So, all right. Anything else you want to talk about? We got 4 or 5 minutes.
Isaac wanted me the Warriors game tonight. I think the win. They're in Houston, I believe. That line is awful high. It's 13.5. These are the kind of games the Warriors have a hard time getting ready to play. Any great team does when they go on the road and play a crappy team. So I don't know if they cover, but I think they win tonight, Isaac. And I will message you tomorrow, Isaac, and let you know what's going on the merchandise. And as soon as Aaron can get you a shirt, we'll get it to you.
Yeah, I don't have any with me, Isaac, or I would. I don't have any in my house. So, yeah, I'm sorry about that. If I did, I would definitely be able to get.
Yeah, we'll take care of you.
Yep.
I don't know what the over under is, Isaac. I don't know on that game.
I'm gonna look it up for him real quick here. Over under on this is gonna be good. Handicapping on the fly here. Over under on this game. I picked the Warriors as well. The over under is 231.5, 231.5. That's a lot of points.
That is. Now the Houston defensively is awful.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of points. But these pro games have been really high scoring. So I think I might go over on that.
Yeah. Games are kicking off, and like I said, if you, I'll show you this one more time as we get out of here. Share. As I talk through this here, where am I? There we go. All right, if you go to the website right now, racedudes.com, there we go. By the way, you can see Magic and I did a video on Secret Oath. There it is. We talked
I'll
about
have to
her
watch that.
in full. Yeah, make sure to check that out. Hit like if you do, Papa Dude. And
Yeah, I will.
If you really like it, tell all your friends. And if you really like it, hit that subscribe button. But anyway,
I don't like it, I just lie, right?
yeah, exactly. Or just hit the like anyway. So your Secret Oath, you can go check that out. You can also check out Forbidden Kingdom, a really nice horse. Did a video on him as well. Magic Mike show right there. I was on that today since Mike was traveling back from the NHC. All right, go to the website right now. You can find all kinds of stuff, free best bets and selections for Papa Dude. Lots of articles here. You could go right now and check out the tournament predictions and also his top 25. But the big thing, if you want to know who we're picking, we've got free picks pages for all these sports. NHL, there we are. NBA, there we go. There you go, Isaac. We're picking Golden State. And then, of course, college basketball, we've got those up for you as well. So make sure to remember that. If you're ever thinking, one of those guys, who they like tonight? Well, you just go to the website, go to these free pick pages. All our picks are going to be there.
Yep. And we're heating up.
Yeah, these pages becoming popular. The hockey page has been pretty popular here lately. Looks like we are all the same except for one. You got the Blackhawks tonight, and I took Vancouver. So
I'm going with the home team tonight.
Yeah, I think Vancouver will go in there and beat them. I think that'll be a pretty good game. Florida's ahead. I just checked that. Florida's winning, so we've got that one right. And then let's see what's going on in the Red Wings game. Hold on here for Magic. Let's see.
Yeah, he ditched us.
Yeah, and as Dennis said, ever wonder who you need to toss? Well, listen, I don't care why you're going to it. Just go to the pages. If you want to go and see the toss, that's fine as well. Looks like Red Wings and the Ducks are 0-0. You picked the Ducks as well. So
yeah, I almost picked the Red Wings. I struggled with that one for a while.
Yeah, and let's see. The Devils are beating Toronto. What?
Yeah, it's early, isn't it?
It's 3-1. Yeah, it's the first period. Oh, come on.
Yeah. The other night they got way behind and won. So
yeah. All right. Anything else? One last thing. Anything else you want to talk about?
There was something I was going to bring up and I forgot. I cannot think what it is. It was something pretty funny. I can't remember. I don't remember.
Well,
I don't. Big game tonight for OU.
Yeah.
Play TCU. They got to win this one. These are some games they got to start winning to get in the tournament. I don't think they're good enough to be in the tournament, but anyway.
Yeah, 8:00 on ESPN2 for OU.
Yeah.
All right. What are we going to talk about on Thursday? I guess college basketball is in full swing Thursday.
Well, we've been wanting to do some hockey, and we just don't.
Yep, we're definitely going to do hockey on Thursday. We'll do college basketball.
College basketball is, if you like it, and I've fallen in love with it again. Man, I've watched some games here lately, and it's going to be snowy and icy here Tuesday night through Thursday. Man, I'm going to just sit there and watch some hoops. Yeah. I watched one yesterday, Providence and Marquette, and I picked that one. That was my best bet, and I got lucky again. And Providence won by 2, and the line was 1.5.
Like it.
And then the only game I missed yesterday, I can't believe this. I found it on ESPN3.
Uh-huh.
It was Monmouth and Niagara. and Monmouth should have won, but they didn't play very well anyway. Niagara hit a 3 at the buzzer to beat me on that one. But
wow.
I can rant about the Pro Bowl there, Dennis.
Yeah, we could rant about the Pro Bowl. Like I said, yeah, Sylvan said the same thing. College basketball and hockey. Yeah, we'll have stuff. We'll have stuff.
We'll find a lot of stuff. We're pretty interesting fellas.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll definitely talk. Yeah, I'm looking forward to some hockey talk.
It's getting time to where you can start shaping up some Stanley Cup contenders and start we're past the halfway point now.
You know what else we can talk about? Olympics.
Hey, that's right. Now I would have to do a lot of research on that.
Yeah,
I think it would be better to maybe do that the next week.
probably so.
They
Yeah,
got going.
yeah.
But that's going to be that's going to be fun to watch. Don't worry, we won't be talking about the Montreal Canadiens.
No,
I'm really worried about my Blues right now, or our Blues, I should say. I actually got some goalie issues, and
yeah, your hero didn't play very well the other day. I guess I didn't watch it.
Wait a minute, 3-1.
Yeah,
He gave up 3 goals early, stoned him after that. We did not play well in general in that game. But I tell you, the Winnipeg goalie played really well. So,
yeah, like I said, that was during the Pegasus. I didn't watch it. I had Sydney was on the live stream texting or showing us scores, and I was like, "Stop doing that if they're behind." So it was pretty funny.
Well, now I want you between now and Thursday to bone up on the NBA.
Okay.
Get some basketball, so you can take part in the discussions.
Well, look, I've been doing well in the NBA. Are you kidding me?
I've taught you how to do that money line. You're doing the NBA. Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Now, didn't you suck it up yesterday?
Yeah, I don't think I was very good yesterday.
No, that's tough.
Yeah.
Because Orlando won and Detroit won, and they're 2 of the worst teams in basketball.
You know what really pisses me off?
You wanted to pick one of them?
I had Orlando picked, and I changed it last second. I thought, no, they're not going to win.
Well, the more you start watching this NBA, and it's still very unpredictable, you can kind of get kind of a hint of when a team's not going to play very well. And Dallas was primed to not play very well in that game, and they had a couple of injuries. Here's the other thing that I'm noticing on the NBA that you kind of got to watch. There's certain games that they hold their stars out of.
Oh, yeah.
And you don't find out until after the bets have been made. So
second half of a back-to-back is when I don't pick that favorite very often.
You really got to watch it.
Yeah.
And this is the dog days too of college basketball. Even in high school basketball, the end of January, 1st of February were the dog days. This is where you could get beat to a lesser team because you're tired.
Yeah.
Their players are tired. You're towards the end. You're getting, you've had a long stretch of games in January, and you're primed to get beat.
Yeah, because you're not totally in tune to the playoff situation.
Well, you're kind of tuning the coaches out. You've been listening to them in high school since the 1st of November, and and it's the same old shit every day, and you're getting kind of tired of it. And so, I know Andy and I used to try to mix it up a little bit, kind of keep them interested, but anyway, it's still tough.
It's tough to do. Yeah. Yep. So I listen. I think we'll be able to fill the time just fine.
I do too.
And maybe Jared will get on Thursday and rant about us.
Well, I'm really disappointed that he didn't, because I think we could have helped him.
I feel like we could have got him back to 100% if he would have shown.
I don't know about that, but I'm a pretty good counselor, and I understand, because I compare the Chiefs a lot to the Sooners, and I have people brag me all the time. How can you root for them? They can't ever win anything. Well, I tell you what, most teams would trade places with them.
Yeah.
And leave this with all the Chiefs fans. Most fans would trade places with your team too.
Yeah.
You got to have a your run.
Yeah, that's it. That's just it. You just gotta take.
And they'll be the favorites next year. I guarantee you. If all of them stay together.
I think the Bills, I think, will be up there with.
Well, I mean, they'll be in the top 5.
Yeah. There you go. Woodbine Harness tonight, if you want to watch that. That's where I draw the line. I'm not going to watch.
Yeah. I would like for somebody to explain to me how to bet that. What are we looking for? I would think the whatever. What do you call it? The buggy. What do you call it?
Sure.
In the
way that's something I've never ever gotten into it.
Doesn't that have something to do with it? How you build your buggy?
I can't imagine that it does, but maybe. I don't know.
I'd rather bet on the ostrich races.
Honestly, we used to go bet Prairie Meadows, and the harness races would be on, and I hated them. We used to bet the favorite just because we were just being idiots.
Kind of like betting dogs.
Yeah, I couldn't get into that either. I do want to go to Saratoga Harness. They've got a harness track right across the street from the main track, and I think that'd be fun. just because you're there. But there's also a lot of fun things to do in Saratoga that's not harness racing.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah. So, well, all right. Hold on. What is this? Only when there's at least 4 inches of snow blowing to the west.
Sounds like we're going to get that maybe.
Here's a good question. How many years have you guys been doing Racing Dudes, and how did you start it? So we've been doing this 10 years. We turned 10 in 1st of January, Isaac. And how did we start it? I would send Jared messages over Facebook about races that were coming up. And he said, not that I don't care about this, but I don't care about this. But why don't I build you a website, like a blog, and you can just post it on there, and like maybe somebody will come to see it. And I said, okay. So we did. We built the site. We didn't build it really. It was just like a template. And so we did that. And then we decided we'd start a Twitter because it's like, well, if we tweet it out, maybe somebody will see it and we'll get to go pet a horse. That was really the goal, just to go pet a horse. We'd never pet one before. And luckily it took about 2 or 3 months, and a guy that owned a horse saw our site. It was like, hey, do you guys want to come to the backside? We're like, sure.
Who was that?
Jeremy Stone.
Oh, Jeremy. Okay.
Yep. He had a horse.
I wasn't listening. Okay. I know. I know now. Okay.
Yeah. Jeremy Stone. He had a horse named One More Week.
Yeah.
And we said, yes. And I said, yeah, I'd heard of him. And he was in the Donnie K. Von Hemel barn. And Donnie K. also had Caleb's Posse in alternation. So we acted like, yeah, we're really excited to go pet One More Week. But really, we just wanted to see those other 2 horses. But we didn't really care. It's just like, yeah, as long as we get to touch one, that'd be cool. And come to find out, he knew Kelby Von Hemel, who was the son of Kelly Von Hemel, and Kelby was just getting to be a farrier, and he was doing an apprenticeship. And then we met him, and then now our relationship with the Von Hemels kind of grew from there. But yeah, that's what started it. Just a couple guys liked the track, and I liked to write about it, and we built a website, and didn't think that it would do what it's done. Let's put it that way. We're very lucky. But yeah, that's how it started.
It's luck and it's hard work. Don't ever sell yourself short.
The horse racing, covering horse racing is hard. It's fun. It's not that it's hard. It's a lot of hours. Yeah, they're fun hours.
It's every day.
It's every day. It never stops. And there's a ton of tracks. And horse racing, it's a small enough community, you really need to cover all of them. Like if we just had a site that covered Belmont, well, you wouldn't have a lot of people on your site. There's, you had to cover all of it. You have to do all of it. So that was kind of, when we first started, we did Oaklawn, and then we realized, well, you're going to have to do more than that. And it just kind of grew from what it was. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of hours. But it's tremendous amount of fun. Getting Magic aboard was huge because that helped kind of lessen the load. Plus Magic's really good at what he does. And then obviously Samich. Samich doesn't do a lot of the busy day-to-day work, but his handicapping product's great, and just no better ambassador for Racing Dudes, or great on shows. Like Samich could be on NBC and it would be fine. Like he's a professional. Samich, that's what he wanted to be. Like he went to school to be on the air, that kind of thing. So it worked out really good to meet him as well. So yeah, four pillars of the site there.
There you go.
Magic worked for free for a long time, and then of course Samich pretty much worked for free for a while too, until he got his stuff going. So they don't work for free now though, so that's the good news. Just pop it in.
And the ironic thing of it all was I had to force him to go to the track.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
That is the truth, and I knew he would like it. And I got to tell you the truth, I never thought I would like it. No. In fact, I was 50 years old before I ever went, and I knew people that went to Hot Springs, Arkansas every year for 20 years, and I never did go. And then finally, my buddy Todd Bazor talked me into going. Had no idea what I was doing. And I don't like to go somewhere when I don't know what I'm doing. I don't like that. I didn't even know how to go up to the window and bet.
Yeah.
But they're so nice down at Oaklawn, and they will help you. And it didn't take me long to figure that part out. And yeah, so I liked it. I've been going a couple of years before you ever went, probably.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, I think you thought you'd be bored. And there's so much going on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know some people that go and don't like it,
Yeah.
but that's just the way it is. And you got to kind of like horses. You got to kind of look at them. You got an appreciation of their beauty, no question about it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I like more than anything, are the horses.
Yeah,
Betting
that was
secondary.
like the shock for me.
Mhm. How pretty they
I
look.
was looking forward to the betting, but I was just like shocked at how much I liked to watch it. Like,
Yeah. You know how I've evolved? And when I first started going, I bet every race,
mm-hmm,
even if I had no idea.
mm-hmm.
I bet every race. And then I kind of evolved to where I wouldn't bet every one of them. Now, I honestly can go and not bet a nickel and enjoy the hell out of it. I
Yeah.
really can.
I mean, I would rather be wagering, but if I couldn't, I don't think I would care. Yeah, I don't know. It was just I really, really, really like the people involved.
Yeah, that's part of it too. Yeah.
I like the people at the track, and I like the people on the backside a lot. And I just didn't know this world existed.
Well,
And
I think you needed, and you did. The Von Hemmels, you owe a lot to them, and they know that.
almost everything, because
They're great people, and
Kelby is kind of, he's younger than us, but he's close to our age, and he's just a great friend. And his dad, he kind of, it's like he just kind of made us feel like we weren't idiots, even though he knew that we were, and I knew that he knew that we were.
But he was patient with you.
Yeah, and he just kind of held our hand, and he doesn't really. I don't think he realizes that. Like,
well, and you and I have talked about this a lot, Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the kind of trainers that I follow.
Yeah,
those guys that are in the trenches day after day.
Yeah,
they don't have the greatest horses in the world, but when they've got a horse that's supposed to win, they win.
Yeah,
and Kelly's a great horse trainer.
Yeah, well,
and there's a lot of them just like him that are damn good.
Yeah, we just got lucky enough to meet him. You know, we could have if we met somebody else, maybe it's a different story, but they're same type of people. I don't know. He's probably one of the best, but yeah, we asked this is a guy who he grew up in horse racing. Like, This is all the guy. I mean, not all that he knows, but this, like, he knows everything about everything, right? And we knew nothing. We knew nobody. We knew nothing. And we asked him some of the dumbest questions and bothered him for years. I mean, now when I see him, I feel like I can at least have a conversation where I don't look like an idiot after it's over, right? But yeah, he just, we went up to Iowa and he buzzed us in and took us all around. I mean, I don't know. We owe a lot to him for sure. But anyway, that's I'm sure people don't want to hear this. But
well, one more thing. His dad's a Hall of Famer.
Yep.
He's a Hall of Famer.
Yep.
And his brother is.
Yep.
In certain tracks around the country, they're Hall of Famers. And that's pretty impressive for one family, I'll tell you for sure.
Yep. No doubt. No doubt.
So that's the appeal of it. And you either like it or you don't,
Well, and then, he's, we had I had like a very small amount of horses, of 2 horses. And I don't know, he just makes you feel like you're important when you're not. And I think that's a good ability to have. And it's always, even when we were really small, he was just like, you guys got to keep going. You guys are you're doing something, and really just encouraging, and meant a lot. It meant a lot.
You know what D. Wayne told you? Probably not. Well, you
No.
told me you said this.
Maybe.
When you first went back to the barns, D. Wayne, and I know you were kind of what in awe of him,
Mm-hmm.
right? I would be.
Yeah.
And he answered some of your questions. And remember, he said, we need young guys like you.
Yeah.
Tracy. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was the same way. A lot of people did treat us better than they probably should have because of our age. And they knew that we kind of needed to get this thing, going. So, yeah, I mean, it was crazy. A lot of people were really nice to us. Like I said, we didn't know anything about anything. We didn't know anybody in racing, and now we're here.
You're not too threatening looking. You know what I mean?
No. Well, yeah. And that Kelly the same way. He's just like, you guys just got to keep doing your thing. You're outsiders, but just keep pushing. So, yeah, that people are really nice, and without Kelly, we wouldn't be here. I could definitely say that. And
yes, I'll tell you.
Yeah, I know.
You can answer this one here.
What's that one?
The one you got highlighted there.
Yeah. Do you think racing should provide free pass performances for gambling? Yes, I do. That's a business model for a lot of people's problem. Just checking in to say Bob ruined my Saturday. I guess you didn't have Newgrange, Russ. Sorry.
Well, he ruined my Saturday, and I had him, but I didn't want him to win. Oh.
Yeah. Well, all right.
That wasn't much of a race either.
No, it wasn't. It was a bunch of bad horses in that field.
I think so, too. I'm a little disappointed. But anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Probably bored him long enough.
Yeah, we're going to sign off. Well, gives a good question, Isaac. Yeah, we went down a rabbit hole. Man.
And Isaac, I will get in touch with you. So don't worry about it. I'll answer all the questions you put on here. Just make a list and I'll answer them for you.
It's crazy to thinking about Kelly. I remember sitting at Jethro's with Von Hemels and Jared and I and there are some other people and it's the end of the month of like our first year, like middle of the summer, and we did like 2,000 page views for a month, and we thought, wow, that we've made it, and now we do that in a couple of hours on a Monday. Yeah. So it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I know.
But all right, yeah, we're getting out of here. All right, that's it. We'll be back on Thursday. Like I said, NCAA basketball, NHL, maybe a little NBA as well. We'll look in on the Super Bowl odds, see if they've changed any. So, all right, we're going to get out of here, guys. Thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you right back here on Thursday.
What is up, everybody, and welcome to the first ever Dudes Who Bet Sports.
So you want to bet sports, but you need some advice on how to cash in big at a heck of a price. Well, if you want enough money to line your shorts, then you're in the right place. This is Dudes Who Bet Sports. Dudes Who Bet Sports, it's your favorite show. Dudes Who Bet Sports, where degenerates go. Dudes Who Bet Sports, time to change your approach with Aaron Halterman and his father, the coach. Let's ride.
Well, the Associated Press is full of shit.